Hi, hello, it's Nikki, and welcome to my messy bookshelf. Today I'm here to talk about Middle Grade March. This is a booktube event that I am so excited for. There are so many excellent reading events on booktube throughout the year, but Middle Grade March is one that holds a very special place in my heart. I don't think I've been this excited since Victober. I have been unofficially participating in this for quite some time. However, this is going to be my first year on BookTube that I am participating. And I will share some of the details. There are a few hosts and they have some reading prompts, they have some group reads, and I will share that information. And then I will share some of my pile of possibilities for middle grade March. So the event is taking place throughout the month of March, and there are 5 prompts, but you do not have to participate in the prompts. You can participate in one prompt or no prompts. As long as you read a middle grade book in March, you have participated in middle grade March. So the hosts for this event are Books and Jams, Life Between Words, and On the Middle Shelf. They have been hosting this for quite a few years now. They have 2 group reads. One of them is the Moongarden, which looks like it's a spin-off of The Secret Garden, but it takes place in space, and it seems like there is magic involved as well. So I have ordered this, and I am super excited because The Secret Garden is one that I love. So the other group read, as I mentioned, is The Secret Garden, and I thought that this would be a fun way to get my daughter involved because we are typically reading middle grade every month together, and I often don't even include that in my wrap ups for the month. Um, we recently read A Little Princess for the second time, and we loved the experience. I love Frances Hodgson Burnett. Um, but we have The Secret Garden here, and I have another copy that is not illustrated. But this one I had purchased a while ago, and I thought that this would be a fun way to get my daughter involved in this event because there are interactive elements and illustrations and things you can open, and it just looks so fun to go through this, in addition to it being an amazing story. So, this is what I will be doing with my daughter. I also have another book that we had planned on reading together, and that is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I have only read the first 2 books in the Chronicles of Narnia series, and I remember loving them when I was a kid, but I never got to read the other books. So we had talked about it and we had discussed reading this series. So this is one that we have decided that we're going to read together as well. So those are the ones that I will be reading with my daughter, and then I will share the other possibilities that I have for the month. But first, I will share the 5 prompts that they have for the hosts have for this event. And prompt number 1 is to read a book by an author with 3 names. Frances Hodgson Burnett. Perfect. Prompt number 2, read a book with flowers on the cover. The Secret Garden has a flower on the cover, and I believe so does the Moongarden. Prompt number 3, read a book that is part of a series. Prompt number 4, read a book that involves travel. And prompt number 5, read a book written in the 1900s. So prompts 4 and 5 would also be fulfilled by the Secret Garden because there is train travel and I believe ship travel as well. So, um, 4 of the 5 prompts are fulfilled by one book there. Um, but again, you don't have to participate in any of the prompts. But now I'll share my pile of possibilities. And these are all books with the exception of one that I have already had on my shelf. And the first one is Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, and this is by Grace Lynn. This one I bought a few months ago and it's been sitting on my shelf. It was purely an impulse buy because it caught my eye. I read the synopsis and it sounded lovely. It sounds like a little girl is off to find this wizard or some sort of deity from the moon to find out how she can bring good fortune to her family. And she has to meet a bunch of magical creatures along the way. So, sounds delightful and very whimsical, and I love that in a middle grade book. The next one is The Witch's Boy by Kelly Barnhill, and this is an author that I have read two other books by, and I loved them, like capital L, loved. But I haven't read this one, and this one has been sitting on my shelf, neglected. And this is about a little boy and a little girl from warring kingdoms that have to somehow make it through some sort of dangerous enchanted forest together. And obviously, other things happen, but I am so looking forward to this one because the other two, as I mentioned, are ones that I loved. The next one is the newest book to my shelves, and that is Ban This Book, and this is by Alan Gratz. And this is one that I went out and picked up whenever I heard Pat talking about this book a few months ago. And this is about a little girl whose favorite book has disappeared from her school library because it has been banned. So she is off to fix that, and it sounds like she starts a banned book library in her locker at school. So it sounds amazing. And yeah, I've been looking forward to reading this one ever since I heard her talk about it. The next one is part of a series, and this is book 2 in the Chronicles of the Imaginarium Geographica. And this is by James A. Owen. This one is called The Search for the Red Dragon. Book number 1 was delightful, and that one was called Here There Be Dragons, and I loved that book. But it tied up so nicely at the end that I just never felt like I needed to see what happened next. So I am looking forward to this one, and some three kids on an adventure in a magical land that they get to from uh I think 1920s London, and they have to follow a map and go to a magical land, and there are dragons, and they are trying to save the world. So the first one was amazing, and I am looking forward to this one. So book 2 in a series. So that is the other prompt that I did not have a book for. And then the next one is Small Spaces by Katherine Arden. I have read something else by Katherine Arden, but I can't quite I think it was The Bear and the Nightingale. Yeah. And this one is a children's horror story, and it sounds like a bunch of kids on a field trip at a farm, and there are spooky scarecrows and some other things, and they get caught across the mist and have to find their way home. So, sounds delightfully spooky, and I have been looking forward to this one and somehow never picked it up. So, middle grade March, here we come. And then the last one that I had on my list was another one that I totally forgot that I also planned on reading with my daughter, and that is Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. We have really been enjoying the Judy Blume Fudge series. They are very funny, and um not sure if we'll get to this one because we have a lot on our plate for March, but it is another one that I am so looking forward to getting through with her. But yeah, that is my pile of possibilities for now. There are others on my shelf that I would also like to read. I have a couple of book 2s and book 3s and other middle grade series, and yeah, we'll see. But I thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video, and I would love to hear any recommendations that you have, and I hope to see you in the next one. I hope to see you in middle grade March. Take care. Bye.